The Mayo Experience.
That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings Week 2 recap, Week 3 guessing the lines from DraftKings Sportsbook. A little bit later on in the show, if you're watching this not live, you can always just hit the time codes and figure all the stuff out on your own if you don't care about certain things. Plus, we're going to be cooking a mini pizza in an air fryer for Cust a little bit later on. He's got his Jets hat on, celebrating the theoretical Super Bowl championship. You seem like you want to cry right now with this other Jets game still going on.
It's more of a celebration of the Week 1 victory where they crushed the Buffalo Bills.
Then why is it that you keep getting real down and saying things like, come on, man? And
Well,
like when you see him throw picks, that's a 50-50 ball. The receiver's got to make a move on that.
one of them
Oh,
was.
look, he almost caught it despite the fact that he came nowhere near catching it.
It was tough. It went basically the way I was afraid it might go. I don't know. Defense I thought was fine. They had short fields. The offense they couldn't run the ball. The passing was bad outside of one deep touchdown. It was rough. I mean, Dallas is one of the very, very best teams in football. You're not going to play a cupcake like Buffalo every week, so you're going to have your challenges. But it was rough. If they want to have tryouts for quarterbacks, I'm okay with that. Like, I don't think it should be just handed to the backup quarterback. He had a chance, and he played very poorly today. So
He didn't look good at all.
no,
And even the one touchdown throw he made was Garrett Wilson, not so much him.
I
It
agree.
was like a 11-yard pass.
he made a couple of good scrambles. Yeah, that one pass, but yeah, it wasn't good. It was bad. It was basically last year redux. I don't know what the next step is. I don't know if there is any other next step, but yeah, it's brutal.
Share the show around, by the way. We need to get as many people in the chat and listening and watching as possible. Congratulations again to the giveaway winner for the $500. Keep leaving those ratings and reviews on the audio podcast too, by the way, because I'm going to be doing another one here pretty soon. So, boom. It's good news that we have power. We just survived another hurricane.
We did. Here we are.
Veterans of surviving hurricanes.
It's like we live on the Tampa coast. We just know how to handle hurricanes.
Yeah,
now.
we live in cold Tampa. That's how we like to describe it around here. We didn't know if the show was going to go because, Paul flew in like an hour ago. We're like, well, if there's a hurricane, they might not land planes. They're like, no, don't worry about it. We'll land.
We're fine. Airplanes
That's how
are
it's gonna
made
go.
to land in tough weather.
How do you think Jeff's doing right now with the Chargers?
Well, after the loss,
What was the stat that you tweeted out?
I tweeted out the stat. They are the 33 teams in the last 20 some odd years have scored 50 plus points in the first 2 weeks and recorded 0 turnovers. Only the Los Angeles Chargers are 0-2.
Even watching the game, I couldn't. I haven't gone back to watch it again. Obviously, we just watched it in real time. I still don't really know how they lost.
I mean, Tennessee made some good plays.
On third down, they were able to get to Herbert, but they moved the ball at will.
Yeah,
Having no running game probably didn't help.
Yeah, not having Eckler was obviously a big deal. Didn't make enough plays, and then in overtime didn't do anything with the ball. It's rough. I feel for the Chargers that they've played good football for the most part over 2 weeks, and they're 0-2. And I know they're playing the other fraud Vikings next week. So goodness, someone has to win that game, in theory.
Hey, there is a world where the Vikings beat the Chargers next week and they are in first place in the NFC North.
Absolutely, there's a case because the Lions are 1-1 and the
Packers are 1-1 and the Bears are 0-2. Mm-hmm. I got my gold pick was the Lions this week. Obviously, they lost. The way that Seattle was able to adapt to their shortcomings this week, because obviously they sucked last week. There was no pass rush, basically, whatsoever from Detroit, which I was shocked by, with 2 offensive tackles being out. But they were like, you know what, Gino? Anything that's a 5-step drop in the playbook, we're not doing that anymore. We're just running quick 3 steps and getting the ball out, and it flummoxed Detroit's defense.
It was a great game plan, and to give him his due after playing poorly last week, Geno Smith hit every mark today. Mm-hmm. He played really well, as did Goff. Goff played outside of the pick 6, obviously. Goff played. That was an excellent game. That was our main screen game today. It was fun. Either of those teams could have won.
Oh, someone just put in the chat, bad beat for you San Francisco bettors. You got to be fucking kidding me.
What happened?
Did the Rams kick a field goal at the end?
Well, I guess to make it a 7-point game.
You
Oh, dear. I don't know. I guess that happened.
Fucking, I hate Sean McVay. Go fuck yourself, Sean McVay. 15 catches for Puka.
I like their chances next week. I'll say that.
Who are they playing?
They play the Bengals on Monday Night Football.
I
like their chances.
I mean, the Bengals came. Well, we'll talk about the Bengals here in a second. But starting 0-3 for the Bengals.
Super Bowl rematch.
That is a Super Bowl rematch. I can't believe they kicked the fucking field goal.
Well, you can't believe it?
No.
I mean, it's...
When did they do it?
Was it like a super
Whoa.
long...
We lost the background.
That's okay. Was it a super long one?
Let's see here. Scoring summary. They kicked it with no time left.
Okay, so that makes no sense.
just to fuck with my
That
mouth.
makes no sense then. You can
Right.
understand with like 12 seconds why you might do
Sure,
it.
if you get an onside kick,
yeah.
sure. 0 seconds left on the clock.
No, that makes no sense. That's just a complete...
Oh, that's brutal.
Ugh. That's rough. That is a bad beat.
You can hear the air fryer going.
I can. I'm curious to see what the mini pizzas taste like.
Do you think Jeff is DMing Spanos Jr. right now?
You should be.
About what though? Like what?
We need a new coach. Fire this coach.
Like what? I mean, I honestly did not watch that game close enough to
No.
be like, oh, Staley really fucked this one up. I don't know.
I mean, he kicked at least one really short field goal. He hasn't been as aggressive in the first 2 games as he's been last year. I don't know.
Do you think? I mean, we'll just switch back to the Jets for a second. Would you
Great.
wear Jets hypothetical Super Bowl merch? Because people are
Yes.
potentially setting up a GoFundMe account to do this.
I would 100% wear virtual Super Bowl champion merch. If you think I'm beneath that, I am not. They're the best team in the AFC, and they don't get to prove it because their quarterback is out for the year, and they don't have anybody else. It's really quite cruel.
Well, there's guys that you could go get. Now that Howell just won in Denver in his first ever road start, looked pretty good.
I'm
Maybe
willing-
get Jacoby Brissett.
I'm willing to run tryouts. Game after game after game, a new person enters the arena, and if you're no good, you get cut, and a new QB gets signed the next week.
So you're looking like for like a Mark Wahlberg in Invincible
Basically,
type
I
situation
want
here,
this
to be
live
the
show.
starting quarterback of the New York Jets.
I want it to be like this live show, where it's just a different guest every week. That's what I want. I give Miami 3 third-round picks for Mike White back. I don't know. I'm out of ideas. But, like, what they got isn't working.
No, and you'll win. Like the Jets will win games with Zach Wilson
They will.
because they'll win games 13-6 and
Yes.
17-10. But I mean, they're also not going to have to play Dallas every single week.
No.
But Dallas didn't even try to run a real offense in the second half.
Didn't
They
have
were
to.
like, here you go. Here's a screen pass. Here's a handoff. That's good enough for us.
Didn't have to. Micah Parsons did everything he needed to do, and the Jets couldn't move the ball. So
Well, it was exactly because you had mentioned it when we were watching the game. Like, this is what the Bills should have done in the second half last week. Just here's a hand. If we go 3 and out, that's okay.
you just turn to your like preseason offensive playbook and just run that because that's good enough when your opponent can't score. Rough. They have the Patriots next week. The Patriots have trouble scoring too. Well, I mean, it'll depend on what happens tonight. But if Miami eats them up, it's going to be a very interesting game. Who
are you rooting for tonight? I have to ask you.
Oh, I want the Patriots to lose.
You always want the Patriots to lose, but you hate Tua. I see you're wearing Dolphins orange.
I mean, look, I don't like the Dolphins, but look, there's no contest when the Patriots are playing. I want the other team to win.
This guy says, I have 0 Puka in best ball. I mean,
Okay,
if
thanks for letting us know that you don't have anybody.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you for letting us know that like you're the world's biggest goober
I
and
think
telling us about your shares of best ball. Like, go fuck yourself.
Ban
pal.
him. Ban him.
Ban him for life?
For
Ban for life!
Bye-bye!
See you later!
See ya!
Take your best ball and go talk to your no friends. Bye-bye!
Now you have a whole week to set up your best ball for next week when you can play him. Bye-bye. Like,
Isn't banning people fun?
well, yeah, particularly when they make inane comments like that. I didn't have...
I don't have Puka! My mom drafted my teams with me, and she has to pay my rent, but I play so many 50-cent best ball teams, my exposure and my portfolio is not very good. Go fuck yourself.
Hey, Pat, I didn't play T. Higgins today in DraftKings. Sorry. Like, okay, pal. I forgot I didn't play the right lotto numbers last night either. Sorry.
Terrible idea.
Sorry.
Terrible idea.
It's just such a dumb thing to say. It's not even a brag. It's the opposite of a brag. Yeah. Look how bad I am. I didn't play. We weren't even talking about him.
I did say he had 15 catches.
Well, yeah, because he's a PPR star.
You know who did play him?
Of course.
I just hope he continues to be good when Cooper Kupp comes back.
The guy has a role to play. You don't have that many catches in 2 games and not be a role player.
Let me ask you, how's your footwork these days? Is it as good as Dak Prescott's footwork?
It's impossible to have better footwork than both Dak Prescott and Zach Wilson at times. And let me show you an example. We do this, and we do that, and we do this, and we do that.
And then we pop up, and then pop up again.
Oh, Nanstradamus, you knew that one, Jim.
Oh, I told your son to play Jake Ferguson in his fantasies.
And then Coach McCarthy didn't even react. That's a quality, that's a commenter on our show quality level anecdote.
Like, and I so rarely watch any NFL game with the commentary on. And we don't usually watch a lot of like Romo and Man. So I can't remember the last time I've actually sat down and watched a full game, but we had the Jets Cowboys game on the main. So where like the name is the main is going to be. They're actively bad.
They were not good tonight. Oh my goodness.
It's like someone spent the last 5 days with them in Dallas, like in the behind the scenes being like some producer. It's like, check out this video of like Dak doing footwork. And it's like the only thing Romo retained.
That and how good Whitehead is. Yeah, he had 3 picks against Jay Cutler last week.
And well, Josh Allen threw him the ball.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
He threw him the ball twice, and the one time he made a play, he shouldn't have made a play on it.
On 4th down, yeah. Thanks, Tony. You're really bringing a lot to the table for $800 million.
He just wants to play in the Pebble Beach tournament.
Great.
We lost the back again. I think the air fryer is blowing out circuits.
It's like when Homer was running the RV, he was roasting the chicken while they were trying to drive.
What else do we got? Not having the third person's weird. We gotta get used to it.
Yes, it's a different vibe, that's for sure.
Week 2, moment of the week. What was your moment of the week for week 2?
Moment of the week was in the Detroit-Seattle game when there was a really questionable intentional grounding. And the referee saying, penalty on number 7, intentional grounding. And Geno's goes, I just missed a guy. It wasn't intentional. And the referee said on mic, listen, I'm talking to America right now. I was like, oh, my God.
That's 2 in a row for Geno.
Geno last week went, oh, my God.
Yeah, when Aaron Donald was trying to kill him.
And this week he was like, hey, man. In Geno's defense, he was right. It was not an intentional grounding.
It was just a real bad throw.
Yeah, it was clear that the receiver there was a miscommunication. And he threw it where he thought the receiver was going to be. They called a similar penalty in the Rams-49ers game this afternoon, and Stafford went ballistic because maybe the refs have been asked this year to be a little bit more sticky on the intentional groundings, but they weren't even close. Poor Geno. Yeah, so Geno twice in a row has candidacy for moment of the week. That was mine. Do you have one?
Yeah, so I have 2. And one of them is a late challenger based on what we saw. I was actually at the very beginning of the Washington-Denver game is actually my moment of the week when we were talking about Chase Young, and then just cuts to Chase Young before the game has started, and he's on the oxygen.
Yeah, I said to you, this is not a good sign.
Yeah, it's a bad sign for Chase Young.
Yeah,
here.
Denver got up by 3 touchdowns to start. Isn't that good? He's on the oxygen. The game hasn't started yet. Oh, goodness.
But there was another one.
That I would have to do that. That's a problem I would have, that the thinness of the air has caused me to take oxygen. I wasn't the second pick in the draft.
In the Colts and Texans game, the Texans must have been down, 21 at this point, maybe it was 14. They just cut to a guy in the stands. There's like no one there. He has a big sign in the shape of the state of Texas that just says, everything is louder in Texas. And it was like 4th and 1 for the Texans. It was just very confusing. Like, you're a grown man. What are you doing with the sign? Did someone give this to you? This is a terrible sign. And you're down by 2 scores.
It should have been
everything. And you're on offense.
Everything is Strouder in Texas. Now, that would have been more funny.
I don't know if that would have been funnier.
I don't know. Anyway, I thought Stroud played really well today. It was sort of garbage time numbers.
It was all garbage time numbers. And listen,
that's something.
Nico Collins came through for me because it was all garbage time numbers.
I still think it's a hopeful sign. So far through a week and a half,
put it this way.
Stroud's looked the best of all the rookie QBs.
Oh, I think Phony Tony's looked the best.
He's already gotten hurt
twice.
2
He's been hurt twice.
Games. That's a real concern.
Yeah, that's not great. I would say very bad.
Very bad.
For him. But when he's played, he's actually looked really good.
Oh, yeah, when he's played, he's looked great. But now that he's had 2 consecutive injuries, like, oh, man, what are we going to deal with?
Was there any Zach Wilson pass that you saw today that was worse than the Justin Fields pick 6? The teardrop dump pick 6?
I mean, there were some on that level, but nothing as ridiculous as that.
Do you think that, like Chase Claypool, he'll have to apologize to his teammates next week?
He should apologize for being awful. for having his team trade away the first overall pick to keep him.
It's funny because we talked about this at the time. And listen, it's 2 games. Fields still might be great. Who knows? But what was going to be worth more, the first pick or Fields? People can't get rid of Fields. He's sick. It's like, is he?
Yeah, no.
Is he?
You can't get rid of the first pick when you have a really good quarterback. You can get rid of it when you have Justin Fields.
But the thing is Bryce Young any good?
I don't know. We don't know yet. I think Stroud has shown some potential, and you could have taken him.
Yeah, I don't
We'll
know.
see.
I don't know if there's that big of a difference.
I don't know. It's still way too early. It's not too early to tell that Justin Fields isn't good enough. I think they go into Arrowhead next week. Good luck.
They'll somehow.
And that's like
beat the
America's
Chiefs.
game of the week.
KC and Jacksonville.
Oh.
Actually, let's talk about it.
What a game.
Well, you said that it was Jacksonville's game to lose, but it really wasn't.
felt it was a lot like the playoff game.
They didn't do anything.
It was a lot like the playoff game from last year, where Jacksonville was given a number of opportunities to
They
put the
couldn't
game
do
away,
anything.
and they could
That's
not
on them.
do it.
KC,
that is
Kansas
on
City
them.
handed them the game,
It
and
is
they
on
still
them.
lost by double
I
digits.
come away from it being disturbed for the Jaguars, but equally disturbed for the Chiefs. 2 weeks in a row, they have looked bad. 20 points against the Lions in a loss, 17 points against the Jags in a win. I mean, the Bears are a get-right game if there ever was one, but I would be very disappointed if I were a Chargers fan and my team was playing really well and I'm still behind the Chiefs by a game right now.
Well, that's the thing. Well, the Chiefs and the Eagles, I think, are in exactly the same situation at the moment. Neither of them have played a good game. They're both. I guess the Chiefs are 1-1.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs should have beat the Lions.
They definitely had
It came down to as bad as they played with the penalties. I mean, there were very few penalties week one. There's a ton of penalties today that they took, and they still had a ton of drops today. But I think they had 12 drops in week one. Only one of them actually mattered.
But those drops were on them.
They were on them, but the one drop was just a tip to the other
Yes.
team for the pick six. If that one drop doesn't happen, they win the game.
Yeah.
And they played horrible.
I kind of feel like
Is their defense secret good?
the defense has played well. I mean, Jacksonville's got a good offense as far as I'm concerned.
And so does
really
Detroit.
did nothing today. And Zay Jones, I mean, Jaguars kept not being able to get both feet in bounds to the back of the end zone over and over
Ridley
again.
almost knocked himself out on the...
Given the way the Chiefs played over 2 weeks, I think 1-1 is a very reasonable record for them to be having. It's not like they really should be winning games playing that way, but
But the fact that they are
great
both
myth.
competitive and winning games this way before any semblance of an offense is clicked.
there's been a great myth, and I bought into it, was that the AFC was lock, stock, and barrel, loaded top to bottom. And as it stands, who's been amazing? Now, if the Dolphins go out and trounce New England tonight, I guess they'd be the answer.
Weirdly, the Chargers have been amazing.
The Chargers have been
0-2.
amazing, and they're 0-2. Like, all the time, I mean, the Jets take themselves off the board with an injury. The Bills looked shaky in week one. Then they played better today after another shaky start, but then they turned it around and played well. There doesn't seem to be nearly, at least through 2 weeks, the AFC has not been as tenacious as I thought they would be. Those pizzas smell good. Pizza smells good.
It does smell good. How's it coming, Paul?
Round one is coming in right now.
Oh, round one is coming in. Now, remember,
Just gonna say.
don't put it in your mouth. 10 seconds. It's going to be hot once it's finished.
Yeah, and it needs to cool for like 10 minutes because remember, Rob talked about this on your show this week. And he's right. If you eat a pizza when it's really hot and it burns the upper part of your hard palate, it messes your mouth up for like a week.
I have a Josh Jacobs stat here for you. Ready for this?
Well, I know he ran for negative yards today.
Well, yeah, it's beyond just the running for the negative yards. He doesn't have a run for more than 20 yards since that overtime game winner last year.
That seems impossible. And honestly, there aren't many matchups better suited than the Bills' rush defense.
Apparently, they're great. Best run defense in the league
Than Josh Jacobs, and he did nothing. That is very concerning. If you're a Raiders fan, I think Josh Jacobs should have feasted today, and he had negative yards. I could have had negative yards.
That is true. You could have had negative
Easily could have had
yards.
negative yards. And I'd do it for a tenth of what Josh Jacobs is getting paid.
Well, maybe they were right not to pay him all that money.
I agree. And Washington was smart not to pay Chase Young all that money. What is going on in that game?
It's still going on.
What is the score?
It's 35-27 for Washington. Washington has the ball 4th and 9 at their own 44. So they're going to punt it back.
With how much time remaining?
Minute 44, or 56 seconds.
Denver's going to have to score and get the 2-point conversion to take it to overtime.
Yes, but there's only like one. So Denver, new theory on
Them
Denver.
losing makes me so happy.
Well, they haven't lost yet.
Anyway, giving up a 23 to, last week starts with Sean Payton making it all about himself with the failed onside kick. This week, people are lapping him up online when they get up 21-3.
Who's lapping him up?
A lot of people on Twitter are like, "Oh, Sean Payton is making
Do you
everything."
follow like Sean Payton tracker accounts?
Anyway,
like, who's saying this online?
It's just in my
feed.
feed.
Give me one name.
No, I don't know.
Give me a name that I can go search.
idea.
That is being like, oh my gosh, what a genius!
I have no
Sean
idea. I'm
Payton
just
is.
scrolling through my X feed and saw that.
Okay.
And like, looks like they're going to give away at home a 21-3 lead. Yeah.
Some pizza from Paul.
Oh, some
I
pizza.
only have one request.
Oh, that actually looks pretty good.
Do you have like an Italian accent?
No, I don't.
You don't have like a Goodfellas?
Yeah, we're gonna get canceled here because it's a me, a good fella.
But, you know, I could be here, Christopher Walken. I was never in one of the Italian mobster movies. But I did play a villain in a Bond movie. That's pretty good.
It's a me, Mariota-san.
I didn't see the Mario Brothers movie. Did everyone talk like that the whole movie?
I put it on for my kids this morning.
Oh, really?
And then I left because they love. Well, I have my one son. My one son has a Mario doll.
Okay.
And the other one has a Luigi doll. But like Wolf doesn't really care about it, so he just kind of threw it out. But Max loves his Luigi doll, so we just like when I put him to bed at night, I just do the Luigi voice. He's like, Luigi. Not the best talker at the age of 3. Luigi's a tough one for him, but he knows that Luigi jumps,
He does.
but not as high as Mario.
I think they're about the same. Luigi's taller.
Luigi's Cust, all right?
Luigi's taller. He's got better wingspan. He probably has a
Yeah,
better
he's
vertical.
Cust, but he's Cust.
He just doesn't get all the ink. Mario gets all the ink.
Well, he had his own game. He had a backpack for Ghosts. No one played that fucking game.
People got to know him more in Mario Brothers 2, which, in my opinion, is actually one of the better Mario Brothers games. And you get to play as Luigi in that game if you want to all the time.
It's not even a real Mario game.
It is. It
No,
is
it's-
Super Mario Brothers 2. I know it's a remake of Doki Doki Panic. I'm aware of all this.
It's not a remake of it. It's a remasking.
Yeah,
of it.
essentially, yeah.
They just pasted Luigi's face on some character,
And they got away with it.
Well, they had to get Mario Fever, but that is like collectively known as the worst Mario game.
You know what?
It sucks so much.
It's underrated.
It's not underrated.
You can pull out those radishes.
It's terrible. Okay? Just like the New York Jets. Not the New York Giants will come back and win. Did they come back and win? Did they end up holding on and winning that game? Like Arizona sucks, but that's a decent comeback for them.
Yes. No, the season was quickly turning down the drains when you got shut out again in the first half. That was an important sort of reel back for them.
So they win 31-28. Like Barkley limped off at the end. I don't know if he's like hurt or if he's fine.
Didn't look
'cause
good.
The game kind of ended.
Injuries are really ravishing this season.
Yeah, what do we got for new ones today?
Richardson,
Yeah, Richardson.
Burrow.
I have the list in front of me.
Sorry. Thought you were sorry.
No.
Okay. All right.
Richardson, well, Burrow, we don't know. He re-aggravated his calf, but apparently, according to Zach Taylor, he was going to be fine to come back in. And then we had Devontae Adams potentially has a concussion at the end of the
Yeah.
Too hot for you?
It's
there?
still too hot,
A little
yeah.
too hot. Who else? Devontae Parker, I didn't see whether or not he's playing tonight or not. Darnell Mooney didn't come back. Beckham ended up getting hurt.
That's right.
And then we had Chase Edmonds and David Montgomery got carted off.
Yes, he did.
As well. So not
But
as many.
They still didn't use Gibbs enough. But anyway.
They hate using Gibbs.
I don't understand why you use a 12th overall pick on a guy who's a star, and every time he touches the ball, he's basically electric, and you refuse to feed him the ball.
How many best ball shares do you have of him?
As many as that guy had of whatever Puka or whoever he did. I don't remember. None. I don't play best ball. I'm a grown-up.
Could you play it?
I'm sure I could. I just don't have any interest in it.
I'm with you. I just don't want to be doing
Like
drafts all
people are like
summer.
drafting in like April, doing a best ball. Like, really? What are you doing?
There are 9 seconds left in this game. It does look like, guess that they're going to win. Your team lost today.
Yeah, my team did lose today, but you know what? That was expected. They weren't 3.5-point favorites at home against a team whose best defensive player was taking oxygen before the game started, and my team didn't give away a 21-3 lead at home.
You know what? I don't know if he's their best defensive player at this point.
Maybe not. I'll say this, that, Denver probably should have just stuck at this point with Hackett because I don't see a difference. Tell me what the difference is.
Well, this is a real bad move for the Jets because now they have Hackett, but they don't have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So is he still really good, like you said?
No, I never said he was really good. What I said was he was going to be able to do the thing we needed him to do, which is what he did.
Cam Akers healthy scratch. I think he may have like banged McVay's wife. That's the only thing I can think of.
I don't know what happened.
Something
obviously.
is going on, and I really want to know what the story is, but it doesn't seem like anyone wants to tell
Hey,
us.
Matt Stafford, want to come to New York, win another Super Bowl? Come on over.
So did the Jets actually have couldn't they finagle the cap to
I
get
don't
any
know.
of these guys?
The Saints have been doing it, and the Rams have been doing it forever. So I'm sure you can make something work.
It's actually really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time for a little taste test then. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It took, 9 minutes?
About 7. I'm putting this one on for 8.
For 8.
Just to maybe get a little bit crispier.
A more
on
well
the
done
bottom.
pie. A more well done one.
Slightly
Maybe.
More well done.
Wait, he might be cooking it at a
No,
lower
but you can
temperature.
order that. I've started to do that at pizza places. Order a more well done pizza. They'll cook it a little bit longer than they usually do.
I understand what well done means. I saw someone order a well done steak at the restaurant last night that we went to, and
no.
I had comments and thoughts.
No, that
And they're like, well, they didn't cook the well done steak. Oh, they didn't do it right. It's because no one fucking comes in here to ask you to cook a well. They cook
no.
one a week.
Yeah, whatever.
Here's a tire I can give you too. Why
Yeah,
don't you eat this?
If you like your steaks well done,
Don't eat steak.
I'm not here to judge.
I am.
But
Don't eat steak.
But don't get dry aged steak done that way. Get your steak out of the Sobeys case and make that well done.
Broncos Hail Mary touchdown from their own 30-yard line.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, who caught it?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
You were just laughing at them.
Cust was just
You were just
mocking the Broncos.
lipping them. No difference. Now they're getting Hail Mary. They
Sean
still
Payton,
they still have to
great
get the
coach.
2-pointer.
They still have to get the 2-point conversion.
It was whoever 89. It was that Johnson guy, Brandon Johnson again.
And they need to then win in overtime.
Or tie.
Yeah, or tie. Tie would be just as funny.
Would it being down 8 with 0 seconds left?
Not as funny. I think if they got a Hail Mary to tie the game and then tied, I don't know. There would be certainly a level of amusement in that.
See, now you're talking yourself into it at this
Sure.
point.
Oh, they'll definitely get the 2-point
You're really
conversion.
trying to deal with some copium over there.
They'll definitely get that 2-point conversion.
Would you hope that the Broncos are winless for when they go and play the Jets?
That'd be fun.
They drop the 2-point conversion unless there's a penalty. And it was to Sutton. Nothing. He's begging for pass interference. It ain't coming. They lose 35-33. Washington covers the 3.5. Ron Rivera looks like he doesn't know what is going on. He's just looking like,
So sorry, Denver. You lose. Maybe you should allow your guys to wear bucket hats and relax when they practice, because your system has resulted in 2 consecutive losses.
Well, it doesn't seem like the Jets are doing all that well either. Okay. They have 1 win. That's great. What if they go 1-16? What if they lose to Denver? Would you hope that Denver has no wins coming into the Jets game? Or would you hope that they have a win so their first win isn't against the Jets?
I don't care now. We got to win. I felt like they won that game on Monday night for me. I know that sounds very
Main character?
I know it, but I feel like
Have you been to the Reddit page? I am the main character?
no,
Because it's a lot of you traits on there.
no, I have not been to that subreddit.
But they won it for you? You're the Gipper, are you? Or are you the kid from Champ? Wake up, Champ. Ricky Schroeder. That's you? Little Ricky? Who's in more trouble, the Bengals or the Chargers?
Good question. Bengals, because the Chargers are in a division where the Broncos are bad, the Raiders are full of trouble, and the Chiefs don't look nearly as strong. And the Chargers haven't lost any divisional games yet.
But when it comes to someone like the Chiefs and even the Eagles, like teams that we
the Bengals are 0-2 in division now.
Yeah,
That's why the answer to me has to be the Bengals.
I mean, it's better to lose the 2 games now than lose them at the end of the year.
It is, but they are divisional losses. They hurt a little bit more.
Lamar Jackson, now 11-0-1 lifetime as an underdog against the spread in the regular season.
I wish I had known that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
And I hope I remember that fact the next time that they're an underdog.
Oh, we're not going to remember that. I will have team-by-team notes in the newsletter tonight, and I will send that all out to you if you are a subscriber of the newsletter. You can do that at Substack, substack.com to search Mayo Media, or just hit the fancy description. There's a link. Bloop. Do you think that you could sign up for the newsletter?
I could try.
Let's do that for next week. That is so I can say it's so easy. Cust
Even I
can
can
do
do
it. Oh,
Ooh, that looks good.
Round 2, kiddo.
Well, I don't want the whole
you
thing.
can have the whole thing.
I don't want the whole.
But you'll have it.
No, because we had Chinese food earlier. I don't want to eat the whole thing. I'll eat 2 pieces. That's fine. Rest is yours.
Chinese food.
We need to.
Italian
We do
food.
need to try French fries in this thing because that is the thing people tell me.
No, I have
is-
a bag. I have a bag of French fries in there right now.
So maybe next week
They're
we can.
very good.
Next week we can try French fries.
Do you think that one of your indentured servants will sign you up for the newsletter?
Well, then that would defeat the purpose of what you just said.
I know, but I mean that's.
I also don't have any.
You'd like some.
No, I would like people. I like when people help me, and I can help people in other ways.
Like
I don't realize-
giving them tugs. You have so much tug experience. You can give them a tug.
I didn't realize that you were so anti-help.
Listen, I just would like to do a few things for myself
I can do things for myself sometimes.
sometimes.
Everybody
Like
needs
sign
help.
up for this newsletter.
I'll try.
Like, it shouldn't be that hard.
Well, then I'll try.
Now, Kenny is now tweeting at you saying that he was definitely going to blame you if the Commanders lost.
Well, but they didn't, so I'm not guilty. Off the hook. Enjoy your win. 2-0, Washington Commanders.
So I'm with you. I think that the Chargers are in. I think the Bengals are a better team than the Chargers are. Like, I still have more faith that the Bengals are going to win the Super
I
Bowl.
think they're close. They're very close.
If you had to pick one to win the Super Bowl, who would you pick?
Right now, I would take the Chargers. I'm worried about Burrow's health for this season. I really am. I'm worried.
They might play themselves into a situation where this calf is so bad and he doesn't improve
That's
and
what I
he's
mean.
bad that they take themselves out of it early.
what I mean.
But if they're in the, let's say both these teams make the playoffs.
Oh, if they make the playoffs,
It's the
I like the
Bengals.
Bengals. Oh, yeah, of course.
course.
Chargers are going to win playoff games.
So if I ask you who's going to more likely to win the Super Bowl, how can it be the Chargers?
'Cause I think
if
the
the Chargers can't win a playoff game,
Because I don't think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs now.
they could. You don't know what's going to happen,
They
but you know that the Chargers can't win a playoff game.
I wouldn't think so. But they did win a playoff game 3 years ago or whatever, 4 years ago, when they beat. Who did they beat? When they because they played New England the next week and lost. Baltimore.
In Lamar's first playoff
Yeah,
game.
so they have won games. They should have won last. Like, anyway. The Chargers still have everything in front of them. Even though they're 0-2, they're playing good football. They haven't played any divisional games yet. And the Chiefs look like they're a little bit flawed.
So now that we're 2 weeks in, almost, because we haven't been. Who's not going to score the first touchdown tonight?
Waddle.
Okay. It really feels like with all the hype around Tyreek, how is Bill Belichick going to take Tyreek out? How are you going to let Tyreek beat you? Either Tyreek goes for like 250 and 3 touchdowns, or Waddle just goes insane tonight. That really feels like how this played. They're like, but look, we took away Tyreek. It's like, yeah, but Waddle had 200 yards.
God, I don't want. These two teams playing each other is a nightmare. It's not a fun game to watch.
Really?
No, I don't.
I mean,
enjoy
New
watching.
England's not a fun team to watch.
I just don't like watching it because I really don't want either to do well.
Yeah, but Miami might be the most fun team to watch in the NFL.
I don't know.
I would like to put that to a poll. Can you put that?
I think Dallas is more fun right now. Well, on both the offensive and
Dallas?
defensive
I mean,
side, because Dallas has game changers on both sides of the ball, and the Dolphins, at least for 1 week, don't look like they play.
I
much
don't know.
defense.
Do they have game changers?
Is it who is a more fun team to watch?
Yeah, who's the most fun team to watch in the NFL? Well, you can't really make a poll on
No,
that.
like-
People can answer, though.
Okay.
I mean, I vote the Broncos. How's 0-2 feel, Sean? Why don't you go back to Fox and give your non-interesting points?
How would you rate these pizzas? Have you tried the new one yet?
Yeah, these pizzas are pretty good. I have to say, they're actually better than advertised.
And this was going to be the hardest thing for us to cook in the air fryer. Was going to be a pizza.
Yeah, this was solid.
It's still steaming over there. Do we got anything else? Oh, the A block. Let's program the A block for tomorrow. The biggest 4 stories in the NFL. Sunday Night Football excluded because we don't know what has happened in that. But if Tua lights it up, the answer is Tua. Mm-hmm. And if Tua plays horrible, the answer is also Tua. If it's like an average game where they win by like 4, then it's like whatever.
Cowboys, obviously. How good is Dallas? Are they the best team in the NFC?
Do you think that they are the best team in the NFC?
Yes.
I don't know if they're. I think that if they don't have to.
Slightly better than San Francisco.
See, but the thing is, if they play San Francisco is going to whoop them because San Francisco whoops them.
They have in the past. That doesn't mean it's always going to happen. They
But-
will play at some point this season. They
But
won't
but
win the
is
division.
this iteration of the Niners versus this iteration of the Cowboys? The Cowboys. It's just like the Rams. Like until the stupid fucking cover, They still won the game by a bunch. Like it
Yeah.
was one of those games that, as we were talking about it was both close, but the Rams never had a chance.
Yeah,
to
like the Niners couldn't get any distance, but the Rams were always behind. You always kind of felt like San Francisco was going to win in the end.
Yeah, like even when the Rams jumped up a little bit, like even before half, it's like it just seems like San Francisco's fucking around.
Yeah, through 2 weeks, I think there is a clear separation right now between those two. I don't think Philly has shown themselves to be on that level.
No, but you have to project out. Like, do you really think that the Cowboys are better than the Eagles?
If they were to play right now on a neutral field, I would pick Dallas.
Okay. What do you think the spread would be if those two teams played on a neutral field?
Dallas by 1.5.
If it was Philly by 2, would you be stunned?
No, I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay,
but
so they're like a coin flip.
they're
right
coin
now.
flip, but I sort of lean towards Dallas.
I would think that San Francisco is favored over both of them
Sure.
on a neutral field.
I
right
could see
now.
that.
So Cowboys. What else? Lamar got some text today.
What's wrong with Joe Burrow?
Telling our friend, well, I think it's the who's in more trouble, the Cincinnati or the Chargers.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
like Herbert and Burrow.
Yeah.
Like, no one really cares that Buffalo got right. They beat up on
No.
like one of the shittiest teams in the league.
No,
Who
it's
cares?
not interesting. Seattle-Detroit game was fun, but nothing from that.
Detroit could be 0-2 right now.
But they aren't, though.
I know that they aren't, but they really could
They
be.
played 2 great games against 2 teams that made the playoffs last year. One won the Super Bowl, the other one...
I'm just because Seattle one time, I'm not convinced they're super good.
No, but...
I got a Ken Walker stat for you. Kenneth Walker scored a pair of short TD runs, but after his 14-yard run to open the game, his next 16 carries gained how many yards?
35?
29. That's kind of his bag. Like he is a kind of a big home run hitter, but I mean, that's not good. Like you're not going to be moving the chains that way. And there was a lot of underneath stuff, like Lockett showing up today helped. JSN showed up, and Metcalf coming back into the game. That touchdown was his to start the game, too.
I thought so, too,
He
yeah.
was in. So
Yeah,
that sucked.
I agreed with you.
Other one, let's see. No, nothing with the rookie quarterbacks. Most surprising team. Not surprising to you and I that the Bucks are good. Actually, it is surprising to you.
Sort of
I'm the only one who was on Team Bucks. And I don't even know if they're good.
I'm still on Team Saints. Saints could win tomorrow night, be 0-2, and still leading the division. So
2-0.
yeah, 2-0, sorry.
I mean, would they be leading the division? Why would they be?
well, they will have beaten a divisional opponent tomorrow if they win.
Again, this is like your Jets are ahead of...
Well, they are.
It's fucking 2 games into the season. They have to play again for one thing.
Yeah,
What-
but-
what's the tiebreaker for? Nothing.
Well, it is for something, actually.
It's not for anything because there's
seeding.
nothing on the line.
Anyway, it's still seeding.
Seeding for what?
The division right now, 1-4. What
What are you talking about?
do you mean, what am I talking
You're
about?
either in first or you're not. If you're 2-0, you're in first place. If there's 3 teams tied at 2-0, you're all in first place because the season doesn't end this week.
I think that's a silly point.
I mean, you say, well, the Jets are ahead of the Bills.
They are.
They're not. They have the same fucking record.
But they beat
They
them.
have to play again, and there's no tiebreaker. There's nothing to break a tie for. There's
Well-
nothing on the line.
Well, in a sense,
What,
there is.
in case there's some sort of...
No. How are you going to put the rankings down on a sheet?
Put T1, T1,
Well, except-
tied for first.
Except no sports have ever done that ever. So in
Well,
this hypothetical ranking
nothing
you created,
nothing is finished.
well, no
So
one
there
said it
doesn't
was.
need to be a tiebreaker because there's no tie to break.
So in your world, you wouldn't even put the standings down on a piece of paper. You wouldn't publish the standings because they don't exist until the end of the year.
I don't understand that. You want to see where people are going, but there's no reason.
They're called standings.
There's no
meaning
reason
where
to
do-
break a tie if there's nothing to be tied.
Again, that is
That doesn't make any sense.
What you're saying is absolutely bananas. You're against the theory of standings until the end of the season. That is a strange position to take. You're welcome to take it. It's a very weird one to take.
It doesn't really matter.
Well, it doesn't. Well, it matters
Because
in
what
the
you're saying is that it only matters if the rest of the season gets canceled.
No, I'm
and
just
it
saying
ends tomorrow.
you make your standings after how many weeks you've played, and those are what the standings are.
Yeah, but there's no reason to have a tiebreaker in there.
But they do implement
That
them.
would be like in week 16, whatever it is. Like, well, here are the tiebreaker scenarios, but they don't actually mean anything if stuff happens
but
next
that's
week.
what every professional sports does.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they
You
don't.
go on NFL.com tomorrow and click the standings and see who is put over who.
Does it matter though?
Okay, well, you say it doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters because it actually has no
but,
relevancy.
But every sport does it, so...
every sport does it.
well, all the 4 major professional
Well,
sports do it.
that's actually not true because if you do something like baseball, if someone has like the same games back, the better winning percentage would be higher.
Sure.
Even if the
They
other
have-
team
because they have a
would
better
technically
record.
have the back. Well, how would they?
They don't have tiebreakers.
they play each other.
They
don't
play each other. They don't have tiebreakers.
That would be right. I think it's really stupid.
Okay, well, that's fine.
And if
do
it wasn't the Jets, you would never bring it up.
I don't think that's true.
Really? Oh, Paul wasn't here. Damn it. I hate when it's just... Because watching Jets games with you is really sad.
I thought I was on my best behavior
Oh, my
today.
God. The amount of pass interference penalties
I didn't
you
call
called
for that many.
Well, once they were down 40-10 or whatever, you didn't care anymore. But the first fucking quarter of the game, was just, that's a penalty. That should be you should have
There was
caught that.
one instance where I thought it should have been a penalty, and I said that. I said I thought that he turned him around.
You didn't.
I did say that.
But you didn't.
Well, on the
Once
replay,
we
you're
watched
right.
it. You said that 3 balls should have been caught by the Jets that were nowhere near them.
On first glance, with your back, with the player's back to the ball, I thought they had, and on replay, I realized, no, that's not the case.
We got what? 15 minutes, Paul? 20 minutes?
Until what?
The Sunday Night Football game starts?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Yeah, about that.
All right, let's do the Week 3 Lions.
All right, let me hit a refresh.
I like how
Seems
crispy
like
the
the lines are
pepperoni
out
is.
this week, though, so that's good.
What's that, sorry?
Seems like there's actually the entire slate is out this week.
I'm surprised,
which
I'm
is
surprised the Colts
very
game has a
nice.
line.
The what? The Colts line?
Yeah, I'm surprised they have a line.
I mean, there's probably not much in terms of like line differential
Between Minshew and Richardson.
It's just like your game plan
Okay.
changes, but like I
Yeah,
don't know
the
if it's gonna-
actual spread.
All right, I
probably
buy
hasn't-
that.
spread.
I buy that.
All right, Thursday night football. We got the New York Giants versus the San Francisco 49ers.
At the 49ers? Oh,
Giants at Niners.
no. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Niners by, what were they this week? They were 8.5 this week. The Giants came back, but they looked fucking terrible. Niners by 9.5.
Nope. Tim?
Niners by 9.
Pat wins.
10?
Niners by 10.
Wow. I like the Niners.
We got the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't think the Jags are going to get that punished. Jags by 7.5.
Nope.
Houston ended up closing as a favorite today, right? 1.5, I think.
I think so.
I believe they were a 1.5 favorite this morning. Or it was like -1.
Okay.
Basically a pick 'em against Indy. Jacksonville 3. And what'd you say? 7.5?
It's at 7.5. Yeah.
Say Jacksonville by 9.
Nailed it, Pat.
Okay.
Jackson,
Thinking about what the spreads are this week is
Jags
helping.
by 9. Moving on down, we got the Chargers and the Vikings. Two teams that like
Win or go home bowl?
that need this win.
No, it's week 3. No.
They really need this.
When was the last time a team started 0-3 and made the playoffs?
I'm sure it hasn't happened that long ago, but I can't remember.
I think it would be, although you think that the AFC is very bad, I think it would be much easier for Minnesota to lose and still make the playoffs.
I would agree with that.
Chargers by 2.5.
Nope.
Chargers by 1.
Bang. Timmy.
I'm almost.
Nails
I
it.
think that's still the wrong line. I think Vikings should be favored.
You think the Vikings should be favored?
At home? Yeah, I do.
I mean, the Vikings should have won on Thursday night.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
they did well against the.
And they should have beat
Well,
the Bucks.
It's one of those weird things too. Like, I don't know if they should have beat the Bucks, but they turned the ball over 4 times against Philly. They had a backdoor cover at the same time. Like, that game wasn't as close as the score looked.
Jefferson fumbled a touchdown out of the end zone.
Well, it wasn't a touchdown. He fumbled.
Yeah, but I mean, he was right there on the doorstep and he fumbled it out. So
So 2-1 for me.
All right, we got the Falcons at the Lions.
Lions by 4.5.
That's what I was going to say. I'll say Lions by 4.
Lions by 5.5. Tim wins.
Still liking Detroit.
Yeah. Or don't like Atlanta, but yeah, I like Detroit, I guess.
My Bills at Kenny's Commanders.
At Kenny's Commanders. Buffalo by 6.
Tim,
7.
you guys split it.
6.5? Point each. We'll take a win on each.
Les Titans at the Cleveland Browns.
You want to hear a hot theory? The Buccaneers are just the Browns with no press. They both have like good skill guys, a quarterback like no one believes in, and a good defense.
Yeah, it's plausible.
Except the Browns have Chubb and
Yeah. The Buccaneers don't, but the Buccaneers have awesome receivers.
Yeah. So what was it again? It was Tampa Bay and who? No, someone at Cleveland.
Cleveland at
Titans at Cleveland.
Titans at Cleveland. Cleveland by 3.5.
Nope.
Cleveland by 2.
Cleveland by 4.5.
Yeah, the books love Cleveland, man. They're favored
Yeah,
over Pittsburgh.
that's true.
On the road on Monday night.
We got the Patriots at the New York Jumbo Jets.
This will depend a lot on what happens tonight.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot, but me first.
Yeah.
Correct.
Jets by 2.
Nope.
Patriots by 2.
Patriots by 2 is bang on correct.
It's the wrong line.
We'll see.
I think the Jets should be favored.
They may be if the Patriots get blown out this evening.
Oh, Riku's telling me about Thigala. Like, man, we're doing a fucking football show. I don't want to have to ban you for life. Like, fuck off with the golf right now. What's the next game?
Moving on down, we've got the Denver Broncos, Tim's Denver Broncos at the Dolphins. This is like, this is the hate bowl.
Who are you rooting for in this one?
Oh, my God. It's my guess first, isn't it?
It is.
It's Denver at the Dolphins.
Correct.
Dolphins by 5.5.
Pat,
Dolphins by 7.5.
you guys split it because it's 6.5.
Should have just said 7. Tried to be exact on it.
All
But
right,
like, if Miami wins big tonight, that's gonna be 10 when we wake up in the
I don't know
morning.
if it'd be 10, but it'll certainly
If
float.
it's a blowout, I mean, Denver
It'll get over 7.
and New England are very similar teams right now.
Yeah, one is well coached, though. One isn't.
I mean, you could say that the Broncos are much better coached than the Patriots
I
are.
would not say that.
I don't know. It seems like they're kind of underachieving the Patriots.
Right, because the Broncos are really doing well.
And they're doing all right.
Yeah, they're really doing well.
They're the first half team that you want to bet
yeah,
on.
well, that
Great in the first half, not so hot in the second half, as
They're
we've
re-
seen
they're
through 2
really
weeks.
good. Yeah, they're really
Or
good.
we can just find out the Patriots aren't good.
well, that would
Because,
be,
you know, Patriots fans are all walking around like the one we talked to last night. What a loss.
Yeah, oh,
did
what
you,
a great
Did you see
loss.
the Patriots loss? They're so good.
I hope to hear all about all kinds of good Patriot losses this season. Bring it on.
Couldn't have had a better loss. They're,
No,
so,
that was
they're so
A
good.
great loss.
Fuck off. Losers. What's the game?
Saints at Packers.
Saints at Packers?
Mm-hmm. Possible game to guess. Oh,
And it's me?
yeah.
Saints by 1.
Nope.
Saints by 2.
Nope. Pat wins because it's
Green Bay.
Packers by 2.
Okay.
Jordan Love simultaneously looked good and bad in that game.
Yeah, they let that game slip off the hook. They had quite a nice lead against Atlanta.
And Atlanta, like, just chipped away.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't do anything special. Richard Me Timbers ended up rushing in that touchdown. 1-0 since the famous... Well, Cam's 1-0 against me because he ended up picking Seattle when I was yelling
Yes.
at him about Detroit. But his Zach Wilson is great. And I was like, Desmond Ritter's better than he is.
Ritter was a lot better today.
Ritter was a lot better today. He didn't play the Cowboys defense, though, so...
No, but still.
Next game.
A question from the chat. Is all the pizza gone?
I have like one little bite of one
Okay.
of my slice.
They've been keeping track. There's
when Tim said he wasn't going to finish it all and did.
There's a Cust counter in the chat right now. So 6 went down to Cust, 2 went down to Pat, but Pat's still working on it. So yeah, seems like you need an air fryer, buddy.
It was a good
'cause
pizza, I'll
so
give you that.
far,
So,
so
what are
far
your
you
reviews?
absolutely love
Both things we had
both
were really
things
good.
we've had.
Both things we had were really
And
good.
you questioned whether you could make a mini pizza.
I debated it, but
Yeah.
now next week's supposed to be a real test because I keep hearing how phenomenal French fries are
Yeah,
out of an
they're
air
super
fryer.
crispy, but you don't have all the oil.
We'll
I mean,
see.
they're not going to be as good as deep fried, but you have.
Oh
like,
no, I was promised
one-
they taste just as good.
No, who said that?
That they have
Nobody's
all
ever
the
gonna
crispy.
say that.
Name the person who said that. quote.
Everyone says they have
Who,
all the
okay,
crispiness.
you just said everyone. Name one fucking person.
Everyone says they have
Who?
all the.
Name one person who said it.
That's the first thing-
Name one person who
I'm
said
not
it.
going to play that game.
But everyone said it. Is it me who said it?
Everyone-
Did I say that?
Everybody
Am
says
I a
that
part
Fre-
of everyone?
That French fries taste.
No one
just
said
as crispy as
that.
out of the deep fryer.
Not a single person said
Oh,
that.
it'll be a good test.
Paul, did anyone say it?
Nobody ever said
No
that.
one ever said it.
Because, like, you have a fraction of the oil. Like, I mean, you don't even need to use oil at all.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, they're way healthier for you. They're better than the oven, but, like, I mean, when you cook
They're
something.
crispier than the oven.
when
You're
you
not going to
cook-
get deep
when you
fried.
d-
You're not going to get anything as crispy as deep fried because you can deep fry till it's fucking falling off.
Yeah,
What are you
exactly.
talking about?
That would be an unfair comparison, Tim.
Okay.
All right.
So name the person who said it. I want to hear who said
I
this.
don't,
one.
no, I'm not playing.
Well, who said it? Was it
I don't
me?
remember.
So
don't
it was
remember.
no one. You made that
That's
up.
what I remember.
You
someone
made
saying,
that.
I don't know who said
You're
it.
living your truth again.
I'm just going.
You
off
said
of
it to
memory.
yourself. Someone said it. Someone's told you that fries in the air fryer are good, and you heard they must be as good as the deep fryer. That's what you heard
I have
when
no-
someone said that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Next game, please.
We got the Indianapolis Colts at the Baltimore Ravens.
And we have a game.
We have a price.
Now, if Lamar and Baltimore are underdogs in this game, you should bet on
I
it.
agree. Feel like they are
Favorites?
7-point favorites.
Pat,
I'll go 7.5. Price is right 'em.
price is correct. 7.5. Nailed it.
Wasn't even trying to get it right. That's when you get it right.
All right, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Seahawks. Pat.
Panthers at Seahawks. Seahawks by 6.
Nope.
6.5.
It's Seahawks by 4.5. That seems pretty. I mean, who's betting the Panthers at plus 4.5?
Maybe they'll end up winning tomorrow night. Like if the Panthers beat the Saints, do you think that's more of an indictment on the Saints?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Next game.
We got Fields and the Bears taking or
Chiefs.
heading to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs.
The biggest spread of the year so far?
Yeah.
Well, it's tied with them. Well, never mind.
Oh, I'm trying to squeeze some info from Paul here.
I get to go.
It's like when
Shut
you
up.
read the Trivial Pursuit questions, and we have I try to answer the questions. When I read it, you try to answer the question, but we play with people who are like trying to get hints on what it is. And then we have other people who read the question and they actively give hints, but they're stupid and
the
they don't
hints
know
are
what the
wrong?
answer it is.
Yeah, that's always great. The hints are explicitly misleading you because they don't know the answer. They think they know the answer. Thanks. Bears, Chiefs. Chiefs by 13.
Nope.
Chiefs by 12.
You guys split it. It's 12.5.
Win each. I'm up 9-6. How many games are left?
2. Oh, wait.
No.
Nope, 3. Wait.
You can still push.
Nope, 4 because there's
You can still win.
2 Monday night
I'm not going to
football
victory
games.
lap the win here and have you throw a Hail Mary like Russell Wilson.
All right, so we got Cowboys at Cardinals.
Well, the Giants were just what? They closed as 4.5-point favorites at the Cardinals and did not cover. Cardinals 2-0 against the spread. And the Cowboys were what? 3.5-point favorites at the Giants last week?
Yes.
So we've just seen this twice now. And it's at the Cardinals.
At Arizona.
Dallas by 10.
You were not paying attention. He said it's the same spread. 12.5, please.
I thought there was another game. I don't know what the games are.
There's no way.
I don't
Tim
look.
got it.
There's no way there's a game that could be bigger.
You're reading the hints right.
I'm paying attention.
Tim
And you
needed-
got
Tim
to
needed
guess
one back
first too.
there anyway, so I feel good that he got it and not Pat on the first pick. All right, we got Steelers at Raiders.
That's the Sunday night game, isn't it?
That is the Sunday night game, sir.
At Raiders.
No home field advantage for the Raiders.
I was gonna say, do you think that they get like a bump? Like
little bit.
Every Vegas home game. Well, they have no home field advantage, like technically, like as a home crowd. I feel like we saw this with the Golden Knights for like 2 years. I got it on my teeth.
Yeah,
Heat's on my teeth. Thank you. That teams coming into Vegas just get too fucked up and they're not as good.
Yeah, that's the Steelers coming off a short week to go into Las Vegas. But Vegas doesn't get any home. I get to guess first. I will guess Steelers by 5.
No.
Steelers by 2.5.
Steelers by 1.
Yeah. The Steelers aren't even favorites at home against Cleveland.
I was way off on that one. Okay.
Yeah, you guys were really off on that one.
It's off by 1.5.
Yeah, that was not so bad. 5 was you're crossing over 3.
I thought
big
the Raiders
key
were great,
numbers.
according to you.
Yeah, but what I like about them and what the league likes are two separate things.
Eagles at Bucks. 1 of 2 Monday night football games.
Eagles at Bucks? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Correct.
A nice little Thursday to Monday shift for the Eagles here. Eagles by 1, 2, 3, 4. 6.5.
Boom. Pat nails it. And finally, Rams at Bengals. Tim.
The number's going to be way too big. Way too big. Bengals by 6.5.
Tim.
Nailed it?
Yeah. That one
what a-
seems really
You got to like the Rams
What a
there, right?
terrible- I
They
know.
just keep, the
I
books
knew.
just keep backing the
Yeah,
Bengals.
I knew
but
that. I just knew the Rams were going to get no respect.
But the
Bengals
Bengals
are
are
going to get
get us
way
now.
too much respect.
I've been on the Bengals 2 weeks in a row. They've crushed me. Now I'm going to be like, fuck the Bengals. They're going to win by like 7.
Yeah, I really like the Rams there, but I knew they had to make a big line for Cincinnati.
Well, the world gets to watch Puka in primetime.
They do, and the Super Bowl rematch.
Jalen Waddle will not score the first touchdown.
No,
That's what I heard.
they will not.
Everyone's saying it.
They should.
Don't know who said it, but everyone's saying it.
I'm here to say it.
Not Mike Gesicki?
He doesn't. Oh, he plays for the Patriots now, doesn't
Revenge first touchdowns.
he? Great.
Use runthesims.com very, very quickly if you want to get some lineups in for Showdown or make your props. There's a new prop betting tool that's up there now that incorporates the best line at any site with the medium projection. Can I ask Justin how it did today? And if I did it well, then we can afford to make more pizza for next week. So you want to try the fries next week.
Fries is the way to go next week.
And then the people will vote for what we eat?
people
Yeah,
in
after
the
that.
chat said poutine, but I know you guys don't. You guys don't muck around with poutine
No.
at all.
Poutine can go fuck itself.
I don't mind poutine.
Poutine's
but
a real,
like,
poutine's a real like touristy thing to
wouldn't
eat.
wanna
I
put
love
gra-
poutine.
I know you do.
gravy
I
in
eat
your-
it like all like at home way too much.
You wouldn't want to put gravy in your air fryer, though, right?
Oh,
No. You pick-
thank God other people are cooking these things. I wouldn't put don't put.
I was going to say, that sounds like a mess.
No.
The cheese would
You
get
just
all
make
melted.
the fries and then you. I mean,
Oh,
you just heat up the gravy, and then dump it on top of.
but
the
not in the
cheese.
air fryer.
No.
You could, I suppose. You had
guess you could.
if you put it in a thing.
This segment has to turn into us getting an air fryer. I guess it would.
Well, I was
that
going to
with
put
the
it here. I thought it'd be
microphone.
too loud in the
It would
microphones.
definitely be too loud, but like we need some video of like Cust cooking. I think.
Yeah, that'll be the second half of the year is you learning how to
we're gonna have
use
to
the
teach
air
you
fryer.
how to use this after that poutine comment.
It'll be like and we'll put happy music underneath of it, so it's the opposite of Weber Cooks.
Goodness. When he takes the bowl out of the microwave, it's been in there for 20 minutes with his bare hands. It has no feeling. Like, this man is dead inside.
That could be you. You could be Weber Cooks. Cust Cooks with Weber Cooks. We could do a crossover show.
Anyway.
You can make this for, I don't know, 2 to 8 people.
And it's very clear only one person is eating that entire bowl of chili cheese nachos. And he still will be empty on the inside when he's finished.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm still a bit stuffed up
I see that.
from the weekend. It's not fun.
Yeah.
I hate being stuffed. It's this time of year in early spring.
Yeah.
Just like everything lodged at the back. We'll be fine in like a week's time. Anyway, thank you for watching Sunday Night Football. We will be back next Sunday, presumably with a guest, maybe one in studio. That's what I'm working on. But until then, I got Jake on Monday for the rankings, Cust and Jeff on Tuesday night, Cam and Rob on Wednesday, Tambo on Friday, and maybe some more special shows in between. All right, I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.